gracious. Happy fake Gen Con, everybody. I'm Corolla Valley, and I want to welcome you to the stream of the Glass Cannon Network. We call it Side Quest Side Sesh because it's just during this global pandemic, which means it will last for many, many years.
The longest side quest ever.
It's really, we're way off book at this point. I don't think we're in a new novel.
You know, I think Ted Kennedy called his Senate career the longest side quest ever after he never got nominated for president. So we're in good company.
Can we keep politics out of side quests for one damn week?
I'm sorry.
I hear about Ted Kennedy one more time during an intro. I'm gonna come over to your house and throw you in the Chappaquiddick.
Oh no!
Too soon, guys. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Wait, is Chappaquiddick a bridge or is that the river? That's what I never understood.
Not sure. I was hoping it was the river.
I think it's the town.
All right, so I'm gonna throw you in the middle of the town. And
From a helicopter. From a helicopter.
Splat! The hell? Somebody just throw a giant out of a helicopter?
How'd they get him in the helicopter?
Two helicopters flying side by side.
Oh my god!
I like the first question is how did they get him in the helicopter?
Yeah, I'm picturing these agents standing around. How did they get him in the helicopter?
How did he bend over?
Helicopter.
How did he bend?
The witness said it was a helicopter.
For the record, Chappaquiddick is an island that is part of the town of Edgartown.
In Martha's Vineyard, yeah.
In Martha's Vineyard, we're Skid Summers every year. It's a chateau in the vineyard. I said it today in an Instagram story. I was talking about how tonight we would have been doing the first of 2 live shows in Indianapolis for Gen Con. That's what we'll be doing tonight. A year ago, we everyone except Grant, of course, missed their flight. Not missed their flight. All the flights got fucking canceled because there was 3 raindrops outside New York City. And so we had to fly in the day of the show, which kind of threw off Gen Con for us the whole way out because we came in. Matthew showed up like 10 minutes before we went on stage. But it was still a great show and a great fucking weekend. And now it's just yet another con. It's not happening. It's a real bummer.
Yeah.
Glad we're starting off on a high note.
Yeah. And there's never really nothing to say about it. It's just a real bummer. And you know what's good about online cons, though? Nothing. They're just really, really not great. They just make me more sad. It's like, okay, an online con.
But it's finally
all right.
It's finally a convention without con crud, and you can not shower as much as you like without people complaining. You know, it's pretty good.
True.
But I can't. Those are my 2 chief concerns about cons: con crud and showering.
Mm-hmm.
I can't drink as much though during this con because I still have to sleep in bed with my wife. So,
You don't want to
have to tone it down for an online.
You don't want a sequel to Chappaquiddick there.
Right.
Too much drinking.
I mean, yeah, I was just thinking about it. Like, and this has happened to us now for months of like, we've been doing these shows. We were supposed to be in such and such tonight. We were supposed to be in such and such, and tonight was going to be indie. But we're doing this instead. And then Saturday night would have been show 2. And we're doing a Gen Con online show with Bullman and Mona playing a little Pathfinder 2E with the Thunder Company. So at least we're doing something. Man, it feels like a hole in my heart.
That's called a heart murmur, and I recommend you go to a doctor immediately.
I should probably get that checked out. So anyways, how's everybody doing? Skid, you're where are you today?
I'm in Knoxville with its fabulous sun sphere.
Did one of
Your
those
condo has a great view. Oh,
yeah. Which I just got back, just in real life. I just got back from Knoxville and had the time of my life, and now I'm back.
You're back. What movie is creeping up there behind you? Is that Departed?
That is.
It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which we all saw in the theater together last time we were.
That's Gen Con.
A year ago tomorrow.
Man.
Yeah, we went on Friday night.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's been 1 year since I had no idea what was going on in that movie. can't believe it.
Why today's the anniversary?
Why today's the anniversary.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have fun no matter what. We've got a hell of a story we're telling here. It got really dark last week. Spoiler alert: it's gonna get darker. You thought Ravenmore was nasty. See you, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
But this one is it's dark in a different way, and we got a little taste of that last week with the Zon-Kuthon worship. But I think you're going to see now, and this was an interesting one for me to prep because I was like, again, I've said this before. It's one of those ones that I just want to email you guys like, so what do you think you want to do for this session so I could prepare accordingly. But I didn't want to lead you anywhere. I just wanted to say, you know what? I'm going to bebop. It's Gen Con Online. Let's just bebop and scat, see what they want to do, and hopefully be able to react with both prepared and unprepared surprises. But I think you're going to find out that eventually, might happen tonight, you're going to see where this story is going. And it does get a little darker.
Darker?
Darker in different ways. But what happened last week was a beautiful precursor to some stuff that's coming up. So I don't know. I kind of want to bullshit a little bit. I don't want to just jump right in. But I feel like you guys are just I made you sad about Gen Con. Joe, you walked away for a second. I thought that was it. I thought you were done.
He had to compose himself.
I had to get off screen for a moment. I needed a moment. No, I forgot to turn my air conditioner off. I have to make sure I'm as uncomfortable as possible when I play this.
Ooh,
I really want to have
running too.
Yeah, so like an hour or so in, when the role play is really important, I just want to have that like line of neck sweat. You know what I mean? Just that really thick kind of. So you're so uncomfortable and you make terrible decisions. That's where I want to be.
You're a method role player, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what separates us from other shows. Commitment.
I wonder if you, and this is kind of a foddery kind of question, but I wonder if because I expected to hear from you this week with an email that was like, what are you guys thinking? Because
I almost sent it today.
The end of last week's episode was so not our usual SideQuest Side Sesh ending. So it was kind of like, we're going to have to go into 2 hours now, not like 1 hour like sometimes we'd have with Giant Slayer, but 2 hours of having no idea where we're going or what decisions are going to be made. And I wonder if maybe you didn't send it because of New Game Who Dis and those kind of influences of like, just let it go and piece it together as we go, because it's been working,
Yeah. I don't know. I tend to lean or err on the side of over preparing. And it's not like I'm not prepared, but it would be easier to prepare for something like this if I knew you guys were going to do X, Y, or Z. Then I could throw myself into that. But I kind of like, and I've noticed in going back, it's some we've already done, some where I wasn't prepared to do what you guys wanted to do. It turned into amazing episodes. So I feel like it's just, and I've said this before when it comes to GM prep, if you know the story really well of what's happening in this town, the story of the adventure, even if the party goes to a room that you don't really know how the mechanics of that fight work, or you're not 100% sure what sort of improvisation it's going to be with that NPC, if you know the overall story and you just play with your players, you can do a lot, especially for a show like this. And so that's where I'm at with this. I think after tonight, I'll have a much clearer idea, but things are going to open up in a weird way where I kind of have to be prepared for everything. But I think that's the beauty of this sort of live experience, is that if I can experience it with you and kind of go back and forth, I think that makes it a little more exciting if none of us really know what's going to happen.
Right.
So with that, I kind of want to just jump in and touch base with what you've done so far, so then kind of what your options are. Obviously, you came here looking to check in on the Baron's wife, his new wife, who just had a baby, little Marek, and her father Hadn't heard from her a while. You come, you check in her. She's like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. And you're like, okay, all right, just, so what's going on? She was like, well, there's like a plague going through town. And so the mail can't get out. That's why I didn't mail my father. And then you were like, well, your father also mentioned that you might be having some problems with your husband. And she was like, well, he's just, ever since the baby, he's been a little stressed out. He hasn't been acting himself. And there's a plague. Like I said, there's a plague going around town and he's under a lot of pressure. So, maybe you could, while you're here, help us figure this out. We think, my husband thinks, it has something to do with all the fetchlings in town. So he fired all of them, except one, the Houndmaster. You can meet him. He's a cool guy. But we're still not sure. This tallow throat is going around town and it's bad business. And you're like, all right, sure. This seems like what the adventure is. So we'll say yes. You go and talk with the Baron. And
apparently incorrectly.
Yeah. Well, that affects what I want to do tonight.
This seems like what the adventure as written is. So let's do it. You're invited to stay at Boroi Manor. You have a full run of Boroi Manor. Baroness's orders. The Major Domo, Laurentier, says you can do whatever you want there. So you have a place to stay. As you're putting your bags in, you're like, why don't we just say hi to the Baron? He seems like he's someone we should probably meet. And he is super paranoid. He's very, very tough to talk to, but he understands that you're here to help his wife and to help him in a way. And he's like, okay, great. If you can go help. But please leave me to my work. I need to figure out a problem, a solution to this problem that we're having. As you're leaving, Alfonso is like, he doesn't cast a shadow. Note to self, that's weird. You start walking around town and you see people running to the center of town. They're running to join an angry mob that is about to burn 3 Kayal at the stake just because they were walking around town. And the Baron has got everyone in such a fever pitch that the fetchlings are responsible for this tallow throat that the captain of the guard is like, let's burn him. Luckily, you're able to step in, and this is where things take a weird turn, because the Kayal are like, listen, we were just shopping. We're going to head back to Shade Row. We didn't mean any harm. Come visit us sometime. We're cool. Danton, Fufu, and Suzette. And then the captain of the guard is like, I'm sorry. I just got a little fired up. Things are tough around here. My daughter's been taken. And you're like, what? Your daughter's been taken? He's like, yeah, a bunch of people have been taken. Fuck it. And so you go to his house and you're like, you talk to his wife. Your daughter was taken? She's like, yes. We don't know what happened. There's no sign of a struggle or anything. You go out there. You see wax droppings on the ground. That leads you to the chandlery. Leads you to underneath the chandlery, where you find Catalina the Chandler dead. Her neck exploded from the tallow throat. Shadows emerge to almost kill you. You go into the next room and you meet a lurker in light, a being from the first world who is like responsible for these missing people, it seems like, and has the Baron's permission to do it, and is stealing these people, stealing children and adults, sacrificing them in dark rituals to bring people from the first world over. I already mentioned bringing a satyr over named Enofex. Luckily, you're able to thwart that plan, but the lurker gets away. Then you're like, all right, we are all in bad shape strength-wise. Last week, you go to the Temple of Zonkuthon to try and cure some of this strength damage. And cure it you do, but each of you has to make pretty brutal physical sacrifice. Braven loses the tips of his ears. Alfonso loses his index finger. Maxine Vetra / the Crystal Ghost loses her pinky finger. And Karazor loses one of his eyes.
That's Karazor, left eye, Nolanson. Lost his left eye.
Lost his left. That's why they call him left
And
eye.
he burned down Andre Risen's house.
Fact. He was an original member of TLC.
Yes, that's right.
What is your position on chasing waterfalls?
Don't fucking do it.
Scrubs?
Do it.
What about scrubs? No scrubs?
I don't care for them.
Okay.
I want to raise the awareness of scrubs and how bad they are.
Someone's got to do it.
And burn down Andre Risen's house.
I've told you before, my first live concert I ever went to was the greatest live concert of all time. I think it was in 1993. Let me start with the opening act. Montel Jordan.
This is how we do it.
He opened and closed.
Oh, wait, that's
how
not.
we do it. Yeah.
Bracketed?
He had 4 songs. He had to do it twice. Followed by TLC.
Oh my God.
And at that point, I owned 2 of their albums. That's Columbia House, baby. Get those fucking freebies.
Wow.
And then you think, well, what a great concert, Troy. What a great first. You'll never forget it. No. Main event, Boys to Men.
What?
At the end of the road.
Have I told this story on the show before you? At the end?
I
On one
think
of our-
maybe.
Although we've come
Was that a
to
Foxwoods?
the end of... it was in
Tanglewood?
Mansfield, Great Woods. Now it's
Oh,
called.
Oh, Great Woods. Yeah.
Great Woods. They're handing out roses to women in the crowd. End of the road.
Jesus.
And I can't. And then they get into a spaceship. The spaceship closes.
I didn't know
It
that part.
flies like 40
Yeah,
feet
I
above
remember
the
this story.
stage, explodes in fireworks, and they're not inside of it anymore.
What master showman. I can't
Oh,
believe it.
man. I love
Talk about
it.
coming to the end of the road.
Was the spaceship like a standard part of the Boys to Men concert experience? Was there?
I think it was just like what I'm looking for, like a set design. It was like, I got a crazy idea. I know that this is a love song, but what if the end of the road is you guys hopping into a spaceship, lifts off the stage, and explodes.
Because it's the end of the road.
We'll pull you out of it.
Pull you out of it, and fireworks everywhere. And people just fucking lose
my
their
God.
We want to imply anal probing. There's nothing more romantic than that, is there?
True. That was a great time.
How old were you?
Anyways, 41. No, I must have been
15.
13, 14, 15. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
You never forget your first.
That's a good first concert.
This is how we do. I was sitting on the lawn. Anyways, you guys cut off a bunch of things, pull out some eyes. You gain a little bit of strength back. Not a lot. Some of you are still down a lot. Karazor and the Crystal G. Then you're walking back to town. You're walking along. Woman comes. She's like, help me. Brr! Throat explodes. 2 more shadows come out. Luckily, you learned a little bit from your first fight and were able to dispatch of them while they did a little more strength damage. And now you're left on the city streets of Karpad, wondering what the hell to do. So what do you do?
The adjunct instructor will like to sit down on the ground because she is very weak.
So she collapses to the ground.
No, I lower myself to a seated position.
You see the crystal ghost fall and hit her face on a rock.
Who Crystal Ghost isn't here? Where's the Crystal
Sorry,
Ghost?
Maxine
You've
Vetro.
seen the Crystal Ghost?
She was here a minute ago.
Karazor drapes himself across Maxine Vetro's back and says, "Carry me."
I'm sorry, Karazor.
I'm very weak.
I'm very weak as well.
No, just use your shoulders, lift up your legs. It's all right.
Perhaps we could impose upon the members of the party that did not have their strength sapped.
Build us a litter.
A litter. That sounds delightful.
And some lemonade. We'd both like some lemonade. Arnold Palmer's actually.
Ooh, an Arnold Palmer.
Ooh, so refreshing on a night like this. We're very weak.
So weak. And I don't really have an interest in going to this temple that I've never been to.
Let me ask you.
Ever.
Let me ask you both a question.
Hurry.
Will brisk iced tea do? We're out of lemonade.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Fine.
Hands both of them.
Pour it into our mouths.
Yes.
All right, baby bird. Here it comes. Open up the hangar. Here comes the airplane.
Thank you. Far too weak to swallow.
Do you need me to massage your throat as well?
Yes,
Just a little bit?
Hold my nose.
Okay. All right. I've always thought I'd be a good father, and this is really making me want to have a child finally.
Would you first swirl the liquid around in your mouth and then dribble it into mine?
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Alfonso, you're watching this all go down. Clearly, they have not only lost their strength, but it's affected their sanity as well.
Clearly, this shadow has pulled any semblance of courage or strength from their mind, from their soul.
If only we had a cleric.
As a 3-year-old child. I'm going to look to see if anybody's looking at us. Like if anybody saw this happen or if they all fled when they saw the shadow. And particularly, I'm looking for Danton or Suzette.
Well, you're not in Shade Row. You're just, you're on the other side of the bridge still. You were making your way towards there, I think. Or maybe you hadn't decided if you were going to go back to the manor or Shade Row. So
No, we decided we were going to Shade Row. And so I thought we were in Shade Row. So the people that we saw fleeing and stuff were not Kyle.
Right. They were.
Oh, man, that's crazy. This whole week I've been like, why did this woman come down to Shade Row with this disease to seek a cure or something? Did her own people run her out?
This is Once Upon a Time
Doesn't
in Hollywood
matter.
all over again.
Doesn't matter. All over again.
The elements, and it throws you off for an hour.
Maybe we could go see Dr. Fufu.
Doctor Fufu.
About our strength. Didn't he want to be a doctor, or wasn't he a doctor already?
No, you're correct. The only doctor in our current show is Dr. Fufu, not
He's in
adjunct
med school.
professor.
He has not graduated yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe he has covered strength damage or ability score drain in his education so far, because I'm very weak.
You are very weak. In answer to your question, Alfonso, the people that had sort of crept away as this woman was walking down the street holding her throat, holding their children back, are now slowly starting to emerge now that they don't hear a ruckus. And they're kind of slowly approaching you, but they see Karazor and Maxine on the ground acting strange. Braven swishing iced tea around his mouth and spitting it into theirs. And they go back into their houses and close the door with all haste. No, they're just kind of they're looking, and some of them are like pointing at the body, trying to make out who it was.
You can come closer. The danger has passed. We have banished these shadows. Do you know this woman? Do you know who she is?
I'm not sure. I believe. Her face, it has changed so much. It is Patricia.
Patricia. And what is your name?
My name is Monique.
Monique.
Yes, I am the baker's wife.
And what is your husband's name?
Jonathan Baker.
Jonathan Baker. Is he okay?
His friends call him the Baker. He is an iron worker.
So
and I am the baker's wife.
So you're
the baker's wife
iron
of a
worker's
musical.
wife.
I'm sorry. You were both speaking at once. What did you say?
You are the iron worker's wife.
Well, no one calls me that. But it is factually correct.
Correct. This woman, do you know what she did in town? What was her trade, her job?
She was an artisan. She would sew, and she could also play the lute. She was quite skilled at the lute. She was an artist, and she got sick.
Do you know what it is that could have exposed her to this disease? Did she travel recently at all, or interact with anyone who had the disease, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, no, she did not travel, but she has been here just like everyone else. There are people getting sick all over. We do not know how. Perhaps she was in Shade Row. I doubt it. Or maybe here, fetchlings, they are in town. Maybe she rubbed shoulders with one of them at the market. Perhaps that is how she got sick.
Alfonso is going to go over and do an investigation of the body just to see if there's anything different from the woman that we saw from the chandler. Any signs of anything different from a heal perspective. That is a 16.
16. No, looks to be very similar. That very pale, sickly complexion and a throat that was super gorged, which has made the rest of her face kind of swollen. Now, of course, the throat has been blasted open, and there's just this black ink sort of leaking onto her chest.
Can I ask? Sorry. I just have a quick question about the shadows.
Yeah.
Now, I can't remember if you just told us this or if we knew it from a knowledge check, but we knew that if these particular shadows had an ability that if they sapped our strength down to 0, that would kill us and then we would be reborn as the shadow.
Right. We have the shadow trait.
That's all shadows.
Yeah, that's all shadows. It's called, I think it's called create spawn. So normally if you're taking strength damage, you go down to 0, you just go unconscious, I think. With shadows, if they take your strength down to 0 in 1d4 hours or whatever, you turn into a shadow.
But we would have no reason to believe that that ability would result in a shadow bursting from our throats.
To your knowledge, no. This disease seems to be separate from that, but linked somehow to the shadows, which is perhaps why the Baron is making it seem like the fetchlings and the Kyle are a part of this.
Is there anything to be said about the ichor that these shadows formed from? Is it remarkable at all? Is it gone? Is it still there? Or did it become them? Or did they come from it and there's still this sludge on the ground?
Yeah, there's a black sludge, whatever this shadow material was that created these shadows has stained the blood inside of her and left it completely colorless.
So weird.
And they just turned into that, but any shadow essence itself seems to be gone. It just left a stain.
Could I just roll a knowledge planes to see if I've ever heard of anything like that? Leaving behind this physical representation of colorless blood, that kind of thing. That is a 24.
All right, so knowledge planes on that. One thing you do know is that the shadow plane, or at least parts of it, are known for being completely devoid of color. Mm-hmm. And so if you're seeing that colorless blood, perhaps it's somehow linked to the actual shadow plane.
What about, is there some sort of connection between the shadow plane and the first world? I mean, to my understanding, they're completely separate things.
Yeah, the first world is more Fey oriented, and then the shadow plane is, you know from our other show more about the shadow plane. The only thing that's different is that they're both different from the material plane.
Right. I mean, we've been assuming this whole time because we found Catalina dead from Tallothroat and then found the Lurker and Light there, this was all connected under the same thing. But I wonder if this is actually, if there are two separate things happening here, that you've got the kind of the first world summoning that's happening that the Baron is responsible for, and then you've also got this shadow plane Tallothroat situation. I have literally no idea, but I'm just wondering if they're actually separate.
I find it hard to believe that it's a coincidence that both of these things are happening at the same time. The chandlery becoming sort of the home base of this first world shadiness, and the disease itself being Tallothroat. Yeah. I don't know. There's enough of a connection there that I feel like something is connected. But like you, I have no idea, and it could definitely not be coincidental or two different people doing two different things at the same time here. God, I was thinking about that Baron too, and I was just like, I did such high sense motives on him. And you know what? I want to ask another question, Troy.
I'll allow it. To me or Monique?
Well, I was asking what he was looking at, what his books were. And you said you notice that he doesn't have a shadow with a high perception check. And I wonder if that was like you were just distracting me from my original question, or if my original question was like nothing interesting, books on healing diseases. Because I was curious after this whole incident at the mausoleum. I was like, I wonder if he is reading books on, bringing people back from something or other, you know what I mean? Like a fae sort of thing where if indeed they are the dogs, like Matthew posited, is he trying a ritual to bring them back from something, and he wasn't really researching Talithroid or disease stuff at all? I'm sorry, just sort of curious if where that lied, or if I did see the books and they were not of interest.
Right. So I can't remember what your check was that may have informed my decision. But if you're sitting there really thinking back to what it was, it seemed like he was being very protective over his materials. The minute you came in, he was shuffling papers around and holding. So maybe if you were trying to look, you couldn't even see. Now, it could be that he just doesn't want you knowing his business, or it could be that he's hiding something.
And while he's like hiding them, it's like there's no shadow.
Right. He was paranoid from the get-go about everything, so it might just be pure paranoia. But you weren't able to see titles or anything.
Okay.
Well, it's the only thing I'm thinking about is the arithmetic involved in creating shadows. Light creates shadows by something blocking the light and casting a shadow, but when a light and a shadow reach each other, do they eliminate shadows altogether? It's very confusing to me to think about like how they're related. I'm just trying to think of that interplay. But I'm in the same boat as Joe of having no idea.
You mean the incorporeal creature as shadow?
No, just like abstractly like light and shadow and what that means. And what it could mean beyond vampires and stuff.
I've always had a hard time wrapping my head around shadow creatures, like incorporeal shadow creatures. You know what I mean? Like, are they on the wall? Are they in the middle of space? Like, what's behind them? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me.
Do they leave a corpse? Like, what happens when they probably just disappear?
They just kind of disappear. It didn't happen in the first fight because I didn't use this tactic, but it started to happen at the end of this last shadow fight as they went into the wall. They kind of come in and out. They're the way they move through walls, so you never can kind of see them, and they just come out and attack and then go back into the wall. But you do know that while light doesn't kill them, there's torches all around town and bonfires all around town. You saw that as you guys were coming in, so at least they believe that the light will keep the shadows at bay. Now it might be more of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Old wives' tale.
Old wives' tale type thing. Like, you better put a torch in every corner. Keeps the shadows away.
Okay,
Big
so I will
bonfires
say,
outside the mansion.
I'll say, Monique, could you could you help us or perhaps gather some others who know this woman? We need to get this body off the street and take her somewhere inside. As you could see, my heroic allies are unable to carry the body of a waif of a woman who has...
I can't.
We totally would.
We would together. But together we are less than our sum. Please get us some water.
And potions of restoration.
Potions of restoration and a sandwich.
I do not have such things. I am simply the baker's wife. We do not have access to bread. My husband, he works in industry. What was I going to say? I cannot touch the body. I might contract the Talithroid, but I will inform the authorities and have them come dispose of it. Perhaps burn Petrica. She had no husband, no wife, no family. So she will be most likely chopped up and burnt.
Why does she need to be chopped up first? Why not just burn the whole body?
It is probably the way she would have preferred it. So
okay.
she can enjoy such pleasures in the afterlife. We'll chop her up real good and then set fire to the pieces.
Well, you gotta smile sometimes at death. That's the only way to move forward. That's what I say.
Which is on, I guess. Well, we will be on our way then if the authorities will take care of it.
Yes. In the meantime, good luck with everything you do, and Maison Couthon be with you.
And with you.
If you ever need some iron worked, Just ask for the baker. And she walks away.
Come on, Kaiser, get your feet under you. Take.
All right. Wait, I have a question.
Crystal Ghost.
I will laugh about this for weeks.
I have a clarifying question about the baker and the baker's wife.
Right, Jonathan Baker.
So Jonathan Baker, ironworker.
The baker.
The baker.
That's his name.
It's kind of like the Drake.
Yeah.
And Monique, married to Jonathan Baker, the ironworker.
Monique Baker, yeah.
Known as the baker's wife.
Right.
Okay. Just want to make sure I had it straight.
The baker's wife.
You have to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Is there a baker?
If everyone called me T-Bone, and then they met my wife, be like, "Are you T-Bone's wife?" That's the same thing as being the baker's wife.
Yeah, it's like, this is so confusing. I heard she was married to a steak. I don't understand.
This is so much more interesting than the time traveler's wife. Anyway,
But the most important question of all, is there a bakery in town that we can go to and acquire some bread and sandwiches?
Yes, they have that. And they may even have that in Shade Row. When you were walking by Shade Row, it didn't look like they had the same ostentatious layout of downtown, but they had, a small inn, a small tavern.
A good Reuben? Can you get a good Reuben in Shade Row, or should we get it on this side before we cross?
Un croque monsieur.
Croque monsieur or croque madame.
Croque madame! Croque madame!
You don't want to get that in Carpad. You want to go to Pangolin if you want a Reuben or a croque monsieur.
God damn it.
A quiche?
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. You don't eat Carpad croque monsieurs. You go to Pangolin.
What are you, a tourist?
What about a Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love a good
I never knew what that was until I was on the road with CBS, and someone's like, "Oh, it's just French toast, peanut butter, and isn't it French toast, peanut butter, and jelly?"
No, it's fresh toast, turkey, ham, Swiss cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah,
It's like
Burger, deep fried. And you can have
We decided we needed that.
I think that I loved it because I think I had like 2 great ones ever, and I've had like 6 or 7 that were just bad, and so I'm always like, it's too much of a risk. But every once in a while, a Monte Cristo is a home run, but it's a long shot.
It's not worth the 2,600 calorie risk.
Yeah, it's,
like if there's a chance it's going to be bad, I'm going to be like, well, it's only 3,500 calories per serving. I already ordered it. Oh, it's terrible. So much powdered sugar.
All right, yeah, we'll go to Shade Row. I would.
You want to go to Shade Row? Okay.
Wherever we go, do we think? I don't really want to go back to the temple to deal with my strength damage, but I really can't do much of anything right now. I have a +2 to hit, and my damage would be 1d8 -2. So
real talk though. Did anyone else avoid death by healing the strength that they did? Because I did. If I had not healed my death, those 3 points I got in that battle would have killed me.
Yeah.
No, because my pinky only offered me so little strength damage.
Right. Sorry.
Repair.
It was just a pinky. Perhaps you should have offered more. He holds up his missing index finger.
I did not lose any finger. I mean, how did you all become so?
I've been meaning to speak with
afflicted?
you in depth about this. Perhaps later we could have a conversation about how you know the crystal goes so well and where you first met. But for now, we must get off the street. We must find a place to get inside and sleep. We cannot take another battle today.
Let me see your hand. And Karzer starts wrestling with Maxine, but they're both so weak.
So weak.
Oh my God. John. Neither
like,
one of us
it's
can lift
like
your
the-
hand up to look at it.
It's like the
just get so
13th
tired.
round of a heavyweight fight. Just keep
we're in the
hugging each other.
We're in the clench.
Braven keeps breaking them up. All right, come on.
All right.
Get the cut man over here. We need to work on you in the corner. Just keep your fists up, Karazor. Keep them up.
Cut me, Lou.
But seriously, could we buy potions of lesser restoration or a scroll of restoration?
Can you make a potion of lesser? I think you can, right? It's a 2nd level spell.
You can make a potion of lesser, but you can't make a potion of restoration.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you can totally buy that. I don't know what the magic shop sitch is going to be in Shade Row, but if you want to stop by, not a magic shop, like there's a hand buzzer, an apothecary. We get a potion of lesser rest and a whoopee cushion.
Here's set up again.
If you want to just stop by like an apothecary and grab something on your way to Shade Row, we don't need to play that out.
Let's check out. I mean, Troy doesn't know, obviously, because why would he know? But let's go check it out. Maybe there is somewhere, there's an option there where we could heal ourselves.
Yeah.
If we find out that this was an option the whole time and we all had to cut off fingers and remove eyes, well, be a little perturbed.
There's always, it's usually reserved for like higher level magic items, but there's always a percentile chance that vacillates based on the size of the town of that item being there. So we could always go to that mechanic. I would think this is low level enough to where it would probably exist in this town.
If there's a vendor that sells stuff like that.
Right.
I'd also like to get some oil of magic weapon and some more holy water, since we saw that those were both effective against the shadows.
So you see a shop. It says Alexander's Apothecary.
Let's go in.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hello! I am Alexandre. Welcome to my shop. What can I get you?
Do you happen to have potions of lesser restoration or a scroll of restoration?
Oh, let me see what I have here. Let me roll a percentile down to see if I have those things. As a matter of fact, I do. I have 3 potions of lesser restoration right here, just for you, from me, Alexander. But I do not have a scroll. It's not my specialty. I am an apothecary. I am not a scroll maker.
So much to respond to. We would like to purchase the potions.
All right. What will you be paying in cash?
Hey, if we can.
I do not
We've got
understand
plenty of
that
hay.
joke.
It's like the Discover card of this world. It only works in one place.
It costs whatever it costs in the book.
So
You
the-
bought 3 and now you leave.
I think it's
So it'd be
300.
gold pieces each.
So 900 gold pieces. Good thing you made a lot of money in Ravenmore.
What is your position on sending an invoice to the Baron?
The Baron, this is on his account?
Yes, we're under his employ, and he's covering our expenses.
Well, I did not receive such a memo from him or his wife or Lucien Laurentier. So if you would wait here, I could send a messenger, and sometime in the next 48 to 72 hours, we can get you your portions.
Cool. We wait.
We wait.
And in the process, heal 3 points.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Can we sleep here?
Do you mind if we wait here?
No, you may not.
Not to.
I can't believe we didn't leave the Baron. That's dumb. We didn't leave the Barons with any kind of writ from him or her that was the Baroness saying that we were
We get
on their
free
business.
stuff wherever we go.
It's not free. They're just going to cover our. We have a day rate plus expenses.
Yeah, no. The Baroness was the one that really cut the deal, and she said, like, if you take care of this, my parents will pay you. They don't seem to be loaded. As you saw, the manor house itself is in disrepair.
It's a reimbursement deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I have
maybe you would
400
like something you can afford, like these Alexander the Grapes. Little candies. They are named after me. Or perhaps some lemon heads.
So
how much was the grapes?
1 copper.
I will take 10.
All right.
Flips him a silver piece.
So here's my dilemma. If we were to go find a place that had a scroll of restoration, that would be more
it won't.
effective.
Yeah, it won't work. It won't work.
Why not?
Because in order to do it, I know the first check I would have to roll is a natural 19. And then the second check is probably a 14 or higher. And I'd have to hit both. So
You can buy 3. It might get you through the day. And then, if you die, your next character will have all their strength.
I mean, now I'm seeing why we've never done this. Never. To use magic device to emulate. Well, actually, the thing is, I could cast almost any wizard scroll of a comparable level without a problem. It's just because it's a divine scroll. It's brutal for me to cast it because I have a really low wisdom.
I do also like that you would need to be of a relatively higher level than a commensurate wizard or caster to be able to do it with UMD reliably. It's like you have to have all that much extra training in order to do so. But it is a hell of a pickle for here. Do you have any pickles, by the way, behind there?
No, I have a potion for pickles, but it is more of a Spanish fly.
Oh.
If you catch my drift.
Braven winks.
You have a Twitch. I have a potion for that as well.
Do you have any oil of magic weapon or holy water?
Oh, let me check. No.
Damn
Do
it.
not. I just sold them to another adventuring party.
Damn it.
Sir, shopkeep.
Yes, sir.
I have here, and he weakly reaches into his satchel, an unused potion of bull strength. It is of commensurate value with the potion of lesser restoration. Might you be in the market to trade instead of taking cash? Please, sir, you are my last hope.
Let me take a look at that. Is it a real potion of bull strength, or is it like bull urine?
No, it's. I mean, I think it includes bull urine in it.
Let me see. He holds it in the light. It glints.
Does a spellcraft check.
Oh, yes, I have run out of the bull strength. Yes, that works for me. Here's une potion for you, and I shall take the bull strength.
Thank you.
I have a potion of cure moderate wounds, which is also a commensurate level. Could I trade a bit?
I'm so sorry. No, we do not do trades here anymore. It is the new policy.
I don't think you understand how much strength damage I have.
I fully understand.
All right, I can afford to buy one of those potions.
Une potion?
Yes.
All right, here you are. A potion of pickle power.
Hey, you said...
All right, I'm going to assume that's lesser restoration. I'm going to roll. And I gulp it down.
As soon as you take it, just chuck it right there.
Please, take it outside.
I rolled a 3.
Hey,
Ooh, nice.
That's
nothing wrong with
great.
the 3.
Could be
Karazor?
worse.
Drink mine. 4.
Yeah, Karizor.
Yeah, baby.
Well
Look at
done.
that.
Nice.
What's better than a 4 on a D4 when you need it? When you need it. All right, so
That's
everybody's
great.
I'm still incredibly weak.
What are you 8 down?
Yeah.
Damage
with
8.
the drain. Damage 7,
Drain 1.
drain 1.
Well, thank you for coming, Master Close Shop. We like to take a siesta. I'm going to go take a nap, and you enjoy the town. If you
I
ever
thought he said, "Would you like to take my sister?" Like,
I'd like to take my sister to my date. She is looking, as they said.
All right, we'll get out of there.
All right, goodbye.
Thank you, kind shopkeep. I feel nearly as strong as an ox.
Wonderful, and I feel as strong as a bull. Am I right? No, I don't drink my own wares. I don't do it. I don't. I might. No, I won't do it.
No, don't.
Too expensive. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, so you leave there and you make your way to Shade Row. Something you thought about doing 17 episodes ago. You were like,
Yeah.
let's just go to Shade Row, see what the hell's going on down there, and then 5 episodes later, you've been all the way through town. So now you're going to go there. You know that you have 3 people who have invited you to stay with them. You know, obviously you've got the nice accommodations in the Boroi Manor, but because you saved the life of Danton, his wife Suzette, and their son Fufu, they have invited you to stay as well. You saw this area as you walked in, because you were walking along the south side of the Dimars River. I think it's the Dimars. You know, let's get some roll 20 popping here. Roll 20. Let's go back
expecting.
to map a K-pad here. I call it K-pad because like I know it really well. Dimars Way. Yeah. So you're walking along there. You're walking along, and you saw to the south those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses as represented on this map of Shade Row. I would say there's probably a couple more shacks and whatnot that aren't represented. This is more of a what it might look like. But like I said, you saw it was all Kael, all fetchlings just looking at you as you walked by. It seemed like they had an inn, a bar, a tailor maybe, but very modest in comparison to the beautiful thatched roofs and cobblestone streets inside Carpet.
So the architecture is different. The materials used is shabbier. Like it's just all together, just like on the map. It looks of a totally different make and model. Okay.
Yeah, they are ostracized in this part of town, seems like. So you cross the bridge over the river, you bang a rooski, and you walk in. And as you do, there's some Kael about, and they regard you strangely. And then you see them sort of whispering.
Can we approach them, or do they kind of like shuffle away?
Yeah, no. You can approach them.
Hello there. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Maxine Vetro. I'm an adjunct instructor of anthropology, and these are my friends.
Hello.
A woman, Kael, looks at you strangely. Hello, I am Aimé. I am surprised to see you here in Shade Row. The humans, they do not come here. Are you not afraid of us?
We're not.
No. Sorry, go ahead.
Many of us aren't humans ourselves. And Braven rubs his ears that he just chopped off and smiles and shows his teeth directly at them.
We are also here under invitation from our new friends, Danton, Suzette, and Fufu, who we hear is going to be a doctor one day.
In residency, I believe.
Are you the people who saved them?
Yes, that is us.
Yes,
that is
yes.
correct. Yes.
We have been
Now you
called
understand.
the greatest heroes of our age, in fact.
I was in fact not there, but I supported them all the way.
You should speak with Ionella. They have spoken of you and said you are quite special people, very different from the people who live in town. Ionella would love an audience with you. She is the mayor of Shade Row, as it were. Could I take you to her?
That would be delightful. We would be in your debt.
Wonderful. Right this way. And she just makes small talk with you, and she leads you over to one of the houses, and you see, again, all the basic shops, nothing fancy. There's no armorers or weaponsmiths, no CVS. But she brings you over to one of the houses. It looks like maybe it has 2 bedrooms. And there's a fire burning inside. And she knocks. And a woman walks out, another Kael, and nods. She's like, come. It's an older woman. She is Kyle, and she says, please take a seat. And she's got some small benches and stools, and she's got a fire. Looks like she's boiling her laundry over the fire.
Allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Maxine Betro, adjunct instructor of anthropology, and these are my friends.
Hello.
I'll allow them to introduce themselves.
I am Karazor Left Eye Nolanson. What, may I ask, is your attitude towards scrubs? If I may be so bold.
I do not like scrubs.
Good.
No one
And
else.
also, I lost in my eye.
I can.
He's so dramatic.
Help me.
He is fine. Do not. He exaggerates. He will be okay.
It's more an emotional pain at this point. I miss it so.
My name is Alfonso Moria. It
well
is a
met.
pleasure to make your acquaintance. And he bows at the waist.
Well met, Alfonso. And you?
I am Braven Gashkar the Unbroken, the hobgoblin with only one tip.
Gashkar. Such a beautiful surname.
Thank you.
Gashkar.
Gashkar.
I am Ionela Zagrev. They call me the mayor of Shedro. I am not the mayor. I was not elected into here.
That's funny because the baker is not the baker there. You have a funny way of naming each other around here.
Nothing
more common than you think.
Yes.
Perhaps the Baron isn't the Baron.
No, he is definitely the Baron.
Oh, I see.
They call me the mayor because I protect my people.
I don't understand.
That is something that I understand greatly. Look at it. Oh.
Perhaps my friend and companion will explain it to me later.
She looks at you quizzically. I heard of what you did in town. This type of goodwill is not often shown towards Kaya. May I ask, what do you know of Kael?
Very little, if I am honest. I wish to know more.
She stirs the water in the pot over the fire. You see like a shirt, a blouse that she shoves back in with the ladle.
That looks delicious, by the way.
Yes, it will be ready soon.
Didn't mean to interrupt your mealtime.
Yes, I have some fresh bread. You can dip in it.
Some oyster crackers.
Bread.
Bread, yes.
Pun?
I got it from the baker.
Baker?
Yes. Tom Ironworker, the baker. It's a very confusing system they have over there. The Kael, if you do not know, it is believed that we are the descendants of men and women, humans, that were stranded on the Shadow Plane long ago.
You are people without a country, without a place, neither here nor there. That must be difficult, no?
It is.
A
Even in Nidal.
penumbral existence.
Yes, and even in Nidal, it is different or difficult. We are feared, if not tolerated, because they say we bear a superficial resemblance to Zon Kuthon's transformation. The humans see us and they think that, like he, we endured similar horrors to become what you see before you, touched by the shadows. It is a myth. We know it to be a myth, but at least it keeps us from being killed in the streets by those who are not as open-minded as the four of you.
Why do they not revere you, then?
I do not know. Maybe they see us as a mistake. And up until recently, it was enough. But now, with what happened to Danton, Suzette, and Fufu, we are no longer safe. This tallow throat, this disease that is going through Carpad is a terrible thing, but we are not the cause. Now, there may be some among us that have fallen ill. I do not know. I have not heard of any Kael being affected. And maybe some of us have unknowingly passed that disease on. I do not know. But it is not a fetchling disease, as they say. Some would have you believe it is a sickness that comes from the shadows. That I will agree with. A sickness born of evil.
Well, of that I will not argue. At least at this point, there is not enough evidence either way. However, evidence does suggest that Kyle do not suffer from this disease, which I'm sure is driving a good deal of this suspicion. That, and of course, prior prejudices. Why do you think it is that a disease that is originating from the shadows does not affect the people of the shadows?
Perhaps it has not affected us yet. Perhaps we have been lucky. I do not know the answer, but I do truly believe it is not something born of us.
Well, I do not believe that either, if it makes you feel any better.
It does not.
I would not expect it to.
It must be difficult being cut off from the barony and all the materials and goods he has to offer. Is this a difficult time for families and children in Shade Row?
It is always difficult here in Shade Row. Yes, more so now than usual, but I make sure my people do not starve. I grew up in a freak show in Cheliax. I worked my way up to where I am today, as it were, in this humble little shack with laundry boiling over the fire. I am
from Cheliax.
Oh.
He gets a big smile on his face.
Do you know Steve?
Steve? Steve? Like...
Cheliax Steve.
Oh, Chelly Steve. Yes. Yes, I know Chelly Steve.
I hate
How
him.
do you... He is my greatest friend. They stare at each other silently for a moment.
This goes on for 10 minutes.
Alfonso is slowly moving his hand to his blade.
You see a fireball emerge in her hand.
The adjunct instructor's hand slowly moves towards the bread.
Bottle cap.
Good job, Matthew.
Keep looking shocked and move slowly toward the bread.
Steve aside, I maintain a healthy relationship with the Baron because it is what is best for my people, for the Kael. Our survival depends on it, but lately I do not even have a relationship with him. It sounds as if no one does. The city itself, as you can see, has fallen into disrepair. The captain of the guard deciding on a whim that he can just grab us off the street and try and burn us at the stake.
Did you have a relationship of any kind with the Baron before recently? Did you know him before all of these troubles?
Yes, I say I have a good relationship with him. It is
and
cordial.
You have always find him amenable and, would you say, a good person overall?
I do not have that type of relationship with him, I will say. He is curt and distracted. His father, I dealt with his father, and perhaps that is why I have not a negative opinion, but a different opinion. His father was a wonderful, wonderful man. He was fair. I'm not saying Stepan is not. He is just not his father. Or his brothers.
Did you happen to know his brothers?
Yes, I did. I did not have a strong relationship with them, but they always treated me kindly. They treated all of us kindly. Between you and me, we have always wondered if Josef or Heinrich even had taken the barony over. if things would have been different. Who knows? This disease comes, they need to blame it on someone. And they look towards Shadewell.
Regardless of what side of the river anyone in this town lives on, that seems to be the consensus. That the Baron was the worst possible choice to rule this town out of everyone. Tell me, did he always have ambitions for the crown? Was he always jealous of his brothers ahead of him?
I did not see such things. I was not...
Objection, speculation.
Leading the witness.
I was not privy to...
Your Honor, she cannot know what my client was thinking 15 years ago.
She looks around and, like, obviously there's no one there, but she just wants to make sure everything's cool. She's like, I will be honest. When the Baron was young, I did not know much of him. He was the younger brother. He was a little boy. He grew up very fast when he took over Boroi Manor, took over Carpad. There are many rumors about the Baron, but this is a town where everyone knows when so-and-so takes a shit. I heard that the Baron made a pact with a demon made of shadows, they say. Again, this is barroom chatter over many, many glasses of wine. They say that's why he allows us to continue to live here. They say that maybe he is behind all these disappearances. Perhaps he is sacrificing these people for this shadow demon. I will say, I'm not one to listen to rumors, but it does make me think. What happened to those brothers?
If I were to throw out a term and you just tell me the first thing you think when I say it. You ready?
I like this. This is fun.
All right. The first world.
Good one.
Abacus.
Oh,
Okay, what about the second thing you think?
Satyr.
Case just busted wide open.
Go on.
It's just the first thing I think of when I think of the fake creatures from the first world. My grandmama used to read me a story about a satyr. And he was an old man who lived a life of evil. And then right before he died, he decided to try and live a life of good. But it was too late. I think of that story often.
story was a lot sadder than I thought it would be.
I think you should leave.
All right. I'm out.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
No soup for you.
Good night. Be in the alley.
Isn't that great? It's like seeing a curveball come out of the pitcher's hand. You're like, I got this. Boom! Crank it
Right into the sun sphere.
On an even more somber, dare I say even sadder note, the town was ready to tie up some of your own people that you're charged to protect.
Burn them, yes.
Yes. What will you do if the reprisals continue? If they continue to hunt your people?
It is difficult because I do not like to think of these things, but we must prepare to be safe. There has always been tension between the humans and the Gael. This is nothing new in many ways, but we are a strong people. They may outnumber us, but they will not defeat us. If it comes to that, hopefully it will not.
We should come clean. We are in the employ of the Baroness, but we do not stomach. She's like, she just hands back the bread.
You did not say you could have that.
But we do not stomach the vigilante justice being
Oh, we
bandied about the
despise
town.
vigilantes. One in particular who's not here right now, thank goodness.
Let's
But
be
we
honest.
hate them. Hate them
No
so
one,
much.
no one likes a vigilante.
No, they're the most despicable, lowest type form of life on Galarian.
Yes. Now we speak of their righteousness, of their desire to put things right, of justice, and it is all nonsense.
It is all nonsense to them. They hide their identities. Why? What do they have to hide? I know what they have to hide. They're terrible people.
Yes.
Yes, I have heard such things. If I had to choose between having all of us here die or allowing another vigilante or gunslinger into my campaign, we would be gone.
Oh my god.
Well,
I can't believe Ionel has been the game master this whole time. This is enormous news.
She's got a GCN hat and glasses.
But
everyone is entitled to their opinion, of course, but surely there might be, say, one vigilante that
No!
stands for truth and justice. And
Across the board, they are despicable, awful creatures.
everything
Yes.
I've heard, awful. It is a confusing, poorly made class. Anyways, thank
Thou
you for
shalt
coming.
not suffer a vigilante to live. That's in the Bible.
Look it up. Page 2.
Page 2, right
Well-
there at the beginning.
be that all as it may, we do not stomach the violence being visited upon your people, and we shall do everything in our power to stand in its way.
I thank you. May I ask what your plan is?
Well, I'm currently extremely weak.
Yes, actually, if I could be a little indelicate, our first plan is to bind some wounds that we have, and I'm afraid that, like you, we do not at the moment trust in the Baron to rely on something so important as that. Do you know if there is anyone here that could provide healing magic for those of us sapped of strength? Or, if nothing, then just a bed in which we could rest the night.
I would offer you a place here, but do not have much room. It is my understanding that you made quite the impression on Danton and his family. I'm sure they would allow you to stay there. Surprised if you are working for the Baron and the Baroness that they have not put you up there. But in terms of your other problem, I do not know. I do not have access to such things. I'm sure someone in town may have a potion lying around, but
Someone in Shade Row, you mean?
yes, perhaps. Nobody brought it up at the last community meeting. But I'd say there's a D100 chance that someone has.
So you had a timekeeper, you did a roll call, you took the minutes, and you didn't take an inventory of all the healing potions in Shade Row?
No, it.
You're one hell of a mayor, I gotta tell you that much right now.
We were going to open with that next month. What would you say is a good percentage for there to be one just randomly somewhere in town?
75% minimum.
94%.
And then up from there.
Before, huh?
Well, it depends. Are you an industrious people that knows how to take care of yourself, or
Of
are
course
you?
they are. Look at them. Look how hale and hearty they are. They're
Well, in
proud
that case,
people.
it would be a 94, a 96, somewhere in that
94.
range.
94 to 96.
72 or higher. No, 72 or lower. 72 or lower. 72 or lower. And perhaps I could find one somewhere in town. I could drum up some support. 29. Yes, I believe there is a man. His name is Lucien. And now that I mention it, he was at the cafe the other day going on and on about this potion of lesser restoration. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. He drinks. He's a drinker. And he must have been in his cups. He was going on and on. I got a potion of lesser restoration. He said, you should talk to Lucien. We don't need to role play it. We'll say you just spoke with him and he gave you the potion.
Good.
You win for free. 1d4 strength. Why don't you roll it right now? And if it's a 1, stop talking about your strength damage and move on.
Quite incredible, really, that he was speaking so highly of this potion over and over, and then gave it away for free. You really are an incredibly generous people.
We must have really made quite an impression.
I thought you would maybe move on from the fact that you were down strength, but you want to grind things to a halt until you are up to full, as if it was a party full of grabs. So we must move on, so I can do a show.
Tell you what, Troy. If I get up to the point where my damage is not at -1, I'll give it up.
I think
it's a modifier on top of a die. It's not. You're not going to do -1 damage.
Do -1 damage. You're going to do just fine.
No,
you're not going to hit the creature and heal him.
If you're aware of it, you're not acting like it, Matthew. Roll your damage.
You know what, Grant?
No. This is exactly. This is the
combat. I won't.
Okay.
I won't. I'll just be like,
all right.
Wait.
Next time you need healing. Next time your dumb vigilante needs healing, we'll see what happens.
You know what I need for healing? A little fucking gas. Tonight's Quest Side Sesh is sponsored by Narragansett Del Shandoni.
Troy, can you put some in your mouth?
Beer.
Will you pour some in your mouth, swirl it around, and then put it in mine?
Yep. Get over here, buddy. Wouldn't it be funny if we had that set up where it looked like I was putting it in your mouth?
That would be awesome.
That's how the pros do it. I mean, if there ever was an official beer of this crew, it's got to be the Shandoni.
It would definitely be Canzoni.
I, in fact, have some shandies in my refrigerator right now.
No way.
Oh, I got a case of these for Archer's birthday this weekend. He's turning 2 and Daddy's survived 2 years.
Archer loves them.
That'll put chest hair. That'll grow chest hair on Archer for sure.
Can you believe it's Archer's turning 2 tomorrow? That's how long.
That is
Want to
wild.
feel old immediately? Daddy started celebrating early with a Tony.
All right, so can we go? Speaking of moving it along, I need to rest. I don't need a potion, but I need to rest. So can we go to Danton and get a cot or a
you feel comfortable staying there? You kind of want to like leave Boroi Manor for now.
Well, is there value in going to Boroi Manor and being there overnight and seeing what happens?
Well, I just wanted to see if there was any information here. I mean, there's going to be no information in all of Shade Row. There's nothing here.
You're talking to the mayor.
Yeah, but
you
she
asked
didn't
a bunch
tell
of
us anything we don't know. You know what I mean? Like
sleeping here will definitely impart some wisdom to us.
Yeah, if you don't feel like
that's why we came here. Like,
if you feel like in your conversation with the mayor you haven't uncovered any new information, there's no reason to believe you're going to find it with anybody else in Shade Row.
I just want to sleep. You said you didn't want to go to the manor because you didn't want to face the Baron down 8 strength, which is why we said let's sleep in Shade Row to get some back at least.
Well, it seems like the party wants me to die, so I have no problem going back to the manor.
We want you to live forever.
Yes,
No,
I don't know how
it's just
you
your
got
friend
this-
that is the worst.
Yes, your friend.
Finally, you know what? I'm going to say it. Your friend is the worst.
My friend has saved your lives millions of times.
Yes, but we didn't want her to. It devalues our own lives, having them been saved by someone so awful. I'm joking, of course.
You don't even
we
know
love the
them.
crystal ghost. Everybody, 3 cheers for the ghost. Hip hip,
Hooray!
Hooray!
hip hip,
Hooray!
and again. All right.
You truly are a professor of anthropology with millions of times. Not very good with numbers, are you? Millions?
You don't even are aware of the number of times the crystal ghost has saved your lives.
Millions. Okay.
Millions saving it right
But that
now.
said,
I can see I cannot change your mind about the crystal ghost. So let's move on.
But like that's
Clearly too close to her to see her many, many faults.
all of that aside, it seems like we're not going to learn anything here right now, and it seems like there are some stuff in Boroi Manor that we could explore, perhaps, or sneak around.
Well, you do have free run of the manor if you wanted to explore. You don't have to go directly to the Baron if you don't want to. It seems like you don't want to confront him where you're weak in case it turns sour. So you could potentially, the way he seemed, he was like, get away from me. You probably can go there and he won't bother you. Your guests there. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do.
Matthew would also like to meet the dogs again.
Yeah, now that we have our suspicions about who they are.
Eozif the Mastiff?
Yosef the Mastiff.
I also kind of want to see if we can hold the baby. I kind of want to see. There's got to be something there.
Yes,
Maybe?
take the child.
Hi, I'm a hobgoblin with bloody ear stumps. Mind if I hold your newborn?
I have a calming presence on babies.
I rolled a 2 on that lesser restoration, by the way. If anyone cares.
It'll be fine.
All right, let's go to the manor then. Go to the manor.
Okay.
What are our leads now, by the way? So we can explore the manor. and
Go to
then
the
there's
forest.
chapel. Right.
The forest north of Carpad? Like, is that what you're talking about?
That was the legend, right? That wasn't actually. This was my confusion last week, that the brothers didn't die in the forest. Well, this was our confusion last week, and I don't actually remember what we found out.
In effect, is that whole thing, isn't he's north of there, isn't he?
You have no idea where he is. He's somewhere in the forest. If what the Lurker in Light said was true, he is somewhere to the forest, the Uskwood, I think, north of Carpad.
But that would be like
Right.
needle
So, I mean,
in a
you're just
haystack.
wandering in the forest.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, we don't have
that's
any
not a lead.
concrete.
Yeah.
We have no leads.
I mean, we have suspicions, but we don't actually have leads. I mean,
Right. We would have to stumble upon something at the manor house that proves something that we suspect at this point.
What are your
I think
suspicions? Talk aloud.
we know that we know that the Lurker in Light is in league with the Baron in summoning.
No. We know the Lurker in Light said he was in league with the Baron. There's no proof of that.
We know we have suspicions that the Baron usurped his both of his older brothers.
What's your evidence for that?
Suspicions.
Suspicions.
Pure suspicions. The only thing is that he said
Also, they don't have
that
bodies.
he brought the boxes and demanded no funerals. That's obviously extremely suspicious, but it won't hold up in court. Like, he could easily, like, something could have happened to them, and he's trying to get them back and doesn't want anybody to know and wants to keep everybody calm and lies about, it's just like, they're dead, do this, while he tries to, I don't know, figure it out. Or, he's a big villain. Obviously, it's more likely the latter, but we don't have solid proof yet that he did it. I would like to see what he was looking at in those books.
We have a lot of hearsay and circumstantial evidence. Those are kinds of evidence.
The books are actually a really good idea. Like, I would love to get a look
Yeah.
inside the library after the Baron's gone to bed.
I mean,
That's certainly closer to proof.
Also talk to the dogs.
if worst comes to worst, too, we can press either the Baroness or the Baron on the fact that the brothers weren't buried there. Like, I mean, it would blow up everything, but we could at least force the issue at a certain point if nothing works.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do, by the way, is you could crash out in Shade Row and go there in the morning.
That's what I was saying. Like, just sleep, and then we can go role play. Like, we can't role play with them at night. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to sleep. We're not going to see anything there.
But if the Baron is locked away all day in his library with his books, our best opportunity to get a look at his books is the middle of the night.
Yeah, we could go sneaking around the manor in the middle of the night for sure. If you want to maybe get into a fight.
I mean, right now I feel like all of our suspicions point to the manor. So I'm cool to go back there. I mean, if we want to just roll, spend the next day and hanging around Carpad, that's fine too. But I think let's move things along. Let's go back to the manor.
No, I'm saying let's rest let's rest here and then go immediately to the manor.
Take a vote. All right, who wants to
we
rest?
could walk
in Shade
around. We
Row?
could do this, and at least we have rest. Like, Baron is at 8 non-lethal damage. It's just stupid to walk around with all that when you don't have to. Let's just get rid of it and then go do searching.
In the interest of forging ahead here, let's take a vote. Who wants to rest in Shade Row? Oh, great. Oh,
All right.
Oh,
I guess that's what we're doing.
Matthew, you're
But
out.
Matthew gets 2 votes because
Because he's a vigilante.
When he has -1 to his damage, he gets an extra vote. That's how that works.
That's fine. I'm just saying, like, the main thing we want to do in the manor is sneak into the library, and we won't be able to do that until tomorrow night.
Well, I also kind of want to talk to the Baroness. I don't know. There might be some interesting stuff there now that we have more information. Talk more about the brothers. She never met the brothers, I guess. Does he ever talk of the brothers? But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
All right, so you head over to Danton. She directs you. She's like, "It was so nice to meet you. I appreciate you coming. You are always welcome here in Shade Row. And if you see Cheliac Steve, Don't tell him I said hello. I do not
I will
care
not.
for him.
Of course, I will see him. He's my best friend.
I hate
Right.
him, and I wish horrible things upon Shadek, Steve. If
That's
you
a
only
terrible
knew.
thing to say.
If you only knew the things I knew. If you only knew the things I knew. That one's house is right there. And she points and then slams the door. And then you hear her slurping her laundry. You walk over to the house. Oh, hello, you decided to come. Wonderful. Hey, Dr. Fufu, set 4 more places for dinner. Oh, Dad. And you hang out there, spend the night. You ask questions. They don't know anything about anything. They're just very relieved that you were able to save them, and they have committed themselves to not going back into town until this boils over. They think it's cool that you met with the mayor. They kind of think that you're celebrities, and they're as hospitable as they possibly can. They have a very small room for all 4 of you to sleep, but they give you, probably you assume, the sheets off of their own bed to be as comfortable as possible while they probably lay on hay with no blanket, shivering and catching cold. And they'll probably get sick and die from it the next day. These are the thoughts that run through your head as you drift off to sleep.
Their suffering is going to be over.
So night's rest, right?
Night's rest, yep.
Okay.
And then anyone with strength damage heals what, 1 point of
1.
strength damage? No. So Matthew, you're fine, dude.
Can't wait for the next combat.
Gansoni.
Well, at least I got rid of that non-lethal, man. Got rid of that non-leth.
That non-leth, John?
And then, what is the first thing that we do? Is there anywhere else in town to go besides the manor? Also,
By the way, what a day. That was
I
the
know,
end of
that
one
was
day.
so
day.
insane. That's why it's so insane. So, if you want, now we're talking like in the morning, over omelets. We're talking strategy. We're stealing their eggs and talking
Please take our
strategy.
last 8 eggs.
So, there is at least one option, perhaps, for a day exploration, in that I could attempt to get into some closed-off areas of the manor without being noticed as myself, perhaps noticed as a complete stranger. I can drink this little vial right here. It will utterly change my appearance. I will not look as myself. And perhaps we could use that to our advantage.
Do it.
You also have free run of the manor, as far as you know.
Well, yeah, I just meant
In your
in case we
current
saw any like locked doors.
Just throw that out there in case it wasn't clear.
Okay, so we'll go to the manor and walk out. We walk into the library.
Hold on. Hello. My name is Ralfonso. Can you open up?
Like, who is the stranger? Throw them out immediately.
I'll be right back.
All right, so we'll immediately go into the Baron and Baroness's bedchamber, and then their private bathroom, and just start looking around and asking questions.
Dorian, while they're copulating.
Demand copulation.
Eyes right now.
You said we had free reign of the manor.
You have to finish.
Why didn't you lock the door? We have not made love in months. Let's go to Boroi Manor here. I have left uncovered the rooms that you've already been into. I wouldn't presume that things have stayed the way that they are. Looks like the only thing that's really visible here is Gavrix and the... not Gavrix, what was his name? Gavril and the hounds. And then, of course, the Baron upstairs there to the right. I don't know what you're seeing there on roll 20, but you see there's a pretty big manor house.
Yeah.
You walk in?
Yep, we will walk in.
Hello!
Laurentier, good day to you.
Welcome back to Boroi Manor. I am Laurentier.
Yes, we know your name.
I did not see you come in. I stayed up all night. Finally, around 6 a.m., I passed out on the floor, sitting right here next to the statue of Dimar. I did not want to be rude and have you come in and not be greeted by the majordomo. I was worried. I feared for your life as you are guests of the Baron and the Baroness. Are you okay? Would you like some coffee?
Your hospitality is greatly appreciated, my friend. We did, however, have quite an exhausting day and night. We are quite beat up. There have been shadows breaking loose within the village, and they have done a number on my friends. We have tried to find a way to heal this damage, but as of yet we have been unable. I don't know if the Baron has any access to any potions or scrolls that might be able to help us in this situation. But as you can see, the adjunct instructor here is very, very weak.
Sacre bleu! No, I do not believe he has such things. It is too bad. Yes, he had. No, it's just a rumor. Do not worry. Yes.
Please
Go on.
Finish that thought.
Yes. Shut up, Raven.
What? May I ask what did the Baroness tell you? She told me you have a free run of the house. Yes.
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 He said we could take any rug in the house.
Any rug in the house?
Any rug.
Tell me such thing.
So, I mean, you said yourself, a rumor, believe me. We know how to distinguish between what is rumor and what is fact, but the rumors can make all the difference when it comes to finding a cure to this deadly disease. What was it that tickled your mind there? Can I do a diplomacy roll?
Yeah.
I'll aid,
So will I.
and I do.
As do I.
I roll crap. No. All right, that's a 20 with the aids.
I aided too.
22.
Yeah.
22.
I am the major domo of Boroi Manor. I make sure everything is parfait for guests and the people who live here. I do not go downstairs. I do not go to the shrine, to the cells, to the vaults. For good reason. I'm not saying you should, but perhaps what you need, you may find down there, or you may not, which is why I do not go. But I am but the major domo. I am Laurentier. I have said too much. Enjoy yourselves. If you need anything, just call Laurentier and I come and I run. Right now I am very tired, for I fell asleep next to this statue waiting for you. You did not call.
Wait, so he's saying we should go down to the vault?
I did not
Laurentier,
say we should.
you have been most helpful.
Well, I just a word of warning. I would not go down there.
Uh-huh.
But if you are desperate, anyhow, enjoy your day. I am so tired. And he leaves.
So do you want to start walking around these rooms on this floor, or do we go straight to the basement where the action happens?
Yeah, you got a lot of doors here. Obviously,
Yeah.
you've been in the salon over here where you met the Baroness. And you've been in the room with the hounds, and then you've been upstairs in your rooms where you were invited to stay and didn't show up, and then the library and what was most likely Stepan's study. But there's still one more door upstairs, and then you've got stairs going down here to the right of the entrance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors, a corridor to the north you haven't explored. A lot of stuff to check out.
So do we look around, or do we go downstairs?
Take a quick look around. Couldn't hurt anything.
Maybe
Alright.
say hi to the dogs.
Do you want to go immediately to the dogs?
But in our walking, it might be nice to build a relationship with the dogs.
All right, I'm going to peek in this room. And he walks up to the first door that's straight across from the entrance, right where Carizor is standing. And he's just going to open the door.
All right, so the one, point to it for me.
I'm standing right out front of it, directly across from the entrance.
Okay, you open it. Looks like a
Whoa.
courtyard. Oh, there's Laurentier. Sorry, I was taking a pee-pee.
Don't be in the fountain, Laurentier. Come on.
I was holding it throughout our whole conversation. I was going to burst.
Give you a chamber pot for a reason.
I thought I could be safe in the fog of war. Who doesn't knock when entering the fog of war? You see a courtyard, and it looks like the whole courtyard, not unlike some parts of the manor that you've noticed in your brief glimpses of the place, has seen better days. There's grass and weeds like poking through the crumbling cobblestones, and a central fountain that stinks of mildew. Once you open the door, you smell that mildew, you source it to the fountain, and you see, like, instead of a beautiful fountain of clear water, it's just like bubbling or trickling this dark, murky water. It's probably full of grime and corrosion, just completely unkempt. And this puddle of dehydrated person's piss on the ground.
All right, I'm going to walk around and take my time and just do like a loop around, looking in the fountain, looking around the grounds, and just do a few perception checks for anything out of the ordinary beyond just the fact that it's been let go.
Okay. That
no one's taking care of it. So, oh my God, natural 1 on the D20 and a 1 on the D6. Hot start for 13.
Hey, looking around. And, again, and it's a skill check. Even though it's a natural 1, if you got a plus 14, that's not a bad roll.
Right.
But you're not really seeing anything out of the ordinary.
I'll do one more, and I got a 28.
So you're hanging out there for a while.
Yeah.
As you continue to look around, you notice your eyes keep getting drawn back to the fountain, and you're like, it doesn't look like mud that's clouded the fountain up.
Is it poop?
It looks like it's poop.
Laurentier's poop.
No.
Did number
Number two.
At first, you came in, you smelled the mildew, and you figured, maybe there was a pipe that would blocked up, and that's why the water got all like the pipes were grime and corrosion, and that led to it. But you don't see any source of pollution that could turn the water to this murky gray color. It's not mud; it's something else.
Can I examine it?
Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to just look at it? You want to touch it? You want to pour it all over you, take a shower, dive in?
First I'll look at it and do a relevant knowledge check to see if it resembles anything, whether it's nature or arcana or planes, if it resembles any substance I've seen before or read about.
You can do a spellcraft, or you want to try knowledge planes, whatever you like better.
I'll start with knowledge planes. Let's do that. That's a 27.
Do you have detect magic, Braven?
I do not.
Nobody does.
No one does.
First party ever.
Yeah. But I have spellcraft. I mean, I feel like I could identify if it is magical without an aura. That's kind of...
Yeah, so imagine you just like have your hands on the fountain. You're looking in there, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And also going through the Rolodex of the information you've gathered so far since you've been in town. And you don't know what it is, but it looks like it has some connection to the plane of shadow.
Whoa.
Be careful.
Do not touch it.
Yes, I'm concerned if I touch it, it may draw shadows out. So it's similar to like maybe that ichor or something that was coming out of those people?
And look at it, the way the gray like moves. It's like, what gray cloudy water looks like? This looks like undulating actual clouds within the water.
I wonder if the fountain itself is a passageway.
Some sort of portal.
A portal, yes, to the plane of shadows. Adjunct Instructor, this would interest you the most. You should jump in. See what is on the other side. Document it for us.
Do you have a GoPro? I'll strap it to my forehead and dive straight in.
Well, we need two. We need one to see your face as well.
Oh, yes.
You can see the horror on your face as
Well,
you take in.
You're right.
I'll just
I'll hold it, and then I'll also get my coverage of my horrified face as I see what's happening.
I'm so scared.
Well, can we stick something into a stick or something? Or is there?
Yeah, Karazor
Strap a rock.
pokes one of his torches into it.
The torch, is it lit or?
I light it and then stick it in.
Just you put it in, and it dissolves, goes out like you think it would, like if you stuck.
It's acid. No, acid. Fall back.
No, if you stick a torch in water, obviously it's going to go out, but it doesn't go out like you're dousing a fire. It goes out like the fire is just being pulled out of it.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's cool.
Dude, it's a portal.
So when Laurentia was peeing in it, he was just peeing directly
On
into
the shadow plane.
Oh, they're gonna get.
I was in the fog of war. What happens in the fog of war stays in the fog of war.
I mean, I kind of want to go through the portal, but not right now.
Let's check. Karazor drops the torch in, and he goes to the southern door in the middle and opens it.
Southern door in the middle. Pop that bad boy open. Looks like a dining room. You see a massive table of dark cherry wood set with exquisite looking silver utensils, fine tian porcelain. Again, this is one of these rooms, not unlike the salon, that is still taken care of. So maybe this is where you would sup if you were a guest that came.
And it doesn't have any, and it just has two doors that go to the courtyard. It doesn't have any windows to the courtyard?
Correct.
Interesting. You'd think you'd build a dining room so you could look out on the courtyard, but...
Yeah, seems like a waste of a courtyard.
Yeah. Maybe it's...
I wonder
repurposed.
I wonder if it's been a portal, if it became a portal recently, or if it's always been a portal. Like this is something the Boroi's over.
The caretaker.
Could I actually do a knowledge nature to get a sense if this is like a year of being unkempt, or if it's like 5 years of being unkempt? Like, I feel like that's something you could tell based on the amount of weeds and their height, the stagnation of the water, the erosion of the rocks. I don't know.
Less than a year.
Less than a year. Okay.
Yeah. You know, how long the manor has gone into disrepair might be congruous with the Baron Stepan taking over. Maybe his dad was more on top of this stuff and he's got other fish to fry. Maybe the recent Talithroat outbreak and whatever else is going on with the Baron has been enough to let everything go.
It would be so strange, though, if this was indeed a portal to the world of shadow, and it was something the Baron was aware of. Why would he give people free reign of it? Or exactly. What happened to the torch?
Or did it just absorb the light from my torch?
What happened to the torch when he dropped it?
Yeah.
Did it go to the bottom of the water?
Yeah, you see the torch at the bottom of the water.
Yes, perhaps there's
like the clouds took the fire away.
The flame.
Yeah, some sort of shadow essence. All right, let's try this door to the north. The door above the fountain now. The door below goes to the dining room. Let's check the door above.
Okay. You pop open that, John, and you see crumbling antiques all over the place. Maybe they were deemed too precious to throw out, but too dilapidated to use, and they fill the space. They're kind of all over. Chests of drawers, moth-eaten chairs, a spinning wheel, like an old sewing spinning wheel, sets of plates that are like missing, saucers in the platter, like they're mismatched sets of plates, and then just all sorts of detritus covering the floor. There's an enormous, looks like some sort of frame leaning against the wall that's covered by a cloth.
Yank it off.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You pull it off, and you see a painting. It's a very intimidating painting. It's a man and a woman, and the man is dressed in the colors of the Borois. Black bear on a red field, and 3 boys standing underneath.
Oh.
Baby Baron.
And it's like one of those paintings that just feel like if you stare at it for too long, it might come alive.
No wonder they covered it.
We should take it. We should take it and hang it in the Baron's study.
Yeah.
See how he reacts.
There was this YouTube video I watched years ago, and I was fucking bored. It was like, don't watch this video. And it was just a video of a painting. And it's a painting, they say, if you stare at it long enough, parts of it start to come to life. And I was like, all right, it's got millions of views. I'm like, I'll watch it. If you let yourself go a little bit and you watch this thing, I remember being like, did someone just run past the window in that painting? Oh, God. But was there just a guy that just appeared and it's just a video of this painting, and you stare at it long enough and it drives people insane? There's something about this family. Maybe the artist wasn't that great, so everyone's proportions are a little bit off, and you're watching it and you just get this uneasy feeling. Maybe that's why it's covered. Maybe other reasons.
Anything else in the room of interest?
No, I mean, there's shit all over. If you take a minute to scan everything, probably worth stuff, but I'm not gonna steal their shit and sell it. Maybe you are.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Maybe on your way out. We're just gonna head out to the drawing room and grab some of that shit and that painting.
The painting was a gift, Todd. I'm taking it with me.
And it was a gift. Yeah, door to the north here.
Let's open that.
You open that up, and looks to be the north corridor, which I can just toss in a little polygons or reveal. It loops around to there. Yeah, so you've done a lot of the first floor here, with the exception of the door to the south of the Houndmaster, and then these 2 doors way to the south.
Let's pop in and say hi to the hounds and just learn the rest of the dogs' names, and then we can keep exploring on the way.
Sounds good.
Your pawns are still outside, so I'm just going to bring them inside. Here. Now you're in the Houndmaster's room. Actually, Maxine was in a wall. I don't remember his accent, but I'm sure it was something like this. Hello, welcome back. Oh, Joseph, down! Sorry, the dogs, they are very excitable. How is your stay in Carpath going? Were you able to find out anything about my lover?
Well, about that, we went to talk to Catalina.
Yes.
On your advice, and
Thank you.
well, we don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but she's dead. She has succumbed to the tallow throat.
Catalina. But what of the woman I was having an affair with, whose name is escaping me at the moment?
Well, we tried to find Irene.
Irene.
Unfortunately, we were beset by a number of shadows when we in Catalina's house, and we're very injured, so we had to delay our plans to talk to her for the moment. But we promise we will.
Tell me more. You say Catalina is dead. What did you discover at the chandlery? She was the last person that saw Irene, and you're telling me she's dead, and you did not see Irene. I do not understand. Sorry, I don't mean to get upset, but I have been worried sick. I cannot leave Boroi Manor, and I have no connection with my friends. You are all I have to the outside world. You tell me that Catalina is dead. She's the last person to see my sweet Irene.
Yeah, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I wanted to stay and continue investigating in the town. But my friends here all wanted to come back to the manor right away. So,
Wait a second. How do you know so much about what happened in the chandlery, adjunct instructor?
Yeah.
You kept on using the pronoun we as well? I don't remember you being there.
I wasn't there. However, you all have been talking about it nonstop.
No, I went straight to bed after we talked to
It's
everyone
as
there.
if I was there.
No, that's not what happened.
Get it.
Raven. Raven, I don't know why you're such a suspicious man. It seems like you just have some things you need to let go, and you'll feel better about yourself.
Okay, thanks for
Sense motive.
You have this internal struggle. Perhaps you could deal with it some other time. What did you find at the chandlery? You must tell me.
It's a scene of great darkness.
How so?
A terrible ritual. A terrible creature. Do you know what a lurker in light is?
No.
It is a creature that is all but invisible to the naked eye in bright light, and it was taking people from Karpad, stealing them to sacrifice them to a satyr named Inofex. Some attempt to bring back the reign of the First World. Does any of this ring a bell? Have you heard anything of this nature before in town?
No, but do you think he was responsible for taking E19?
It seems that they're in I don't know, perhaps.
Did you see
Chandler
any
is-
traits of her?
What did-
you do not know what
Wait,
she
was
looks
she a
like?
What did
body
she
that we
look
saw?
like?
Was she
Yeah,
one
what
of the
did she
ones in the
look like?
rooms?
She was a little less than my height. Brown hair, curly.
Yeah. Oh no. Yes, she was in one of the rooms to the south.
She's okay.
No. They
What is okay?
They killed her. This lurker in light. He escaped our grasp. But I'm afraid that she is dead, my friend. And by the way, I'm just saying that because I assume that what he described was the person that we saw.
As he goes into more description, where you realize that was one of the bodies you saw downstairs.
Yeah.
Where you saw two people that looked similar, like they might be related, a man and a woman. This is the woman.
Yeah.
He describes, and so he just like head in his hands, he sinks down, and you don't even hear weeping. He's just like sitting there uncomfortably.
What's his name again?
Gavril.
Gavril. I am so sorry to be the one to bring you this news. It is an awful thing, but you must stay strong. Terrible things are happening in Karpad. This summoning ritual, we might have stopped it for a moment, but we have not stopped it forever. People will still go missing. And I feel that you could be a source of valuable information. You could help us if we could bring this killer to justice.
He looks up and his eyes are red, but no like tears. He's just like lost. He's like, when she went missing, I thought the worst. There was a moment where I worried for myself, worried that people would have known that I was one of the last people to see her. They would implicate me. We were having an affair. We did things so wrong. But now she is gone. Yes, any way I can help, I will, but I am limited here, stuck in the manor.
Well, that actually might be exactly how you can help. What if we were to tell you that we have suspicions that the Baron might be involved in what's going on in town?
What? You told him that?
He stiffens. What do you mean?
It's too soon for us to know, but we have suspicions that the Baron might be somehow involved in the disappearances. But we do not know enough to make our move. So you must keep this to yourself and observe the Baron and let us know of anything that you find, anything you see or notice or hear that seems suspicious.
You understand what kind of accusation you are making?
It carries great weight, which is why we are reluctant to make it definitively just yet.
We have made no accusation. We are only going on the small amount of evidence we have found so far. I, for one, do not wish to peg this on the Baron any more than you. But we must look into this further, and you must be vigilant. You must keep an open eye and an open ear, and tell us anything you see or hear that seems suspicious. Just be on your guard.
Yes, we do not know the extent of what's going on here yet. Incidentally, how long have you worked at Boroi Manor?
I have worked here for 25 years. I worked for his father.
Oh, so you knew the Baron's older brothers?
Yes, I did. It was a shame that they died so young. But I will say, Stepan has always treated me well. He is a complicated man. But I respect him in his own way.
Of course.
If he had anything to do with Irini's death, though, I do not know what I would do.
Well, we won't go that far yet, but... on an unrelated note, how old are these dogs?
Dogs, he just goes through the ages, and they're like anywhere between 4 and 8 years old. And then Iosif is 6.
The brothers, I know it must be a painful memory. How did they die?
They became very ill, not unlike the people who are getting sick all over town. But not the same illness, yes? It just was sudden and quick. And before we knew it, they were being buried.
Did you see their bodies yourself?
No, I'm but a servant. I was not present at the funeral. It was not held at the temple, as I remember. I believe it was a private ceremony with the Baron and his family, what was left of it.
Where did they lie in illness? Was it here in the manor? Did they have a room in which they were kept in their final hours?
The last time I saw them, they were here, yes. They were, from what I understand, they were found dead here and buried. I saw them one day, and then I hear rumors around the manor that they are sick. I do not see them. Week passes, and they died. And last I saw them, they were walking around happy and healthy.
And how many years ago was that?
10 years ago. The father, he was still alive, and then he outlived 2 of his sons, and then he passed, and Stepan became the Baron.
But the father, he had a proper burial at the cathedral, a proper ceremony.
Oh yes, the entirety of Carpad was present. It was a sad day for all of Carpad. But you're right, he was carried through town, brought to the temple, and then chopped up into a million pieces and burned. As is tradition.
Stepan, how did he take the passing of his brothers?
I did not see him. I would assume he was very broken up about it. No doubt it killed his father. But I do not know how it. How would you feel if your brothers passed?
Can I ask a retroactive perception question?
Sure.
Were there any shadows in the painting?
If you think and look back, yeah.
Like the artistic work of the painting, did everyone cast shadows? Mm-hmm. Including young Stepan.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. Joe brings up a really good point because court painters painted them actually in real life. Was there any like weird energy outside of the general bad juju coming from it? Like, did Stepan have like an evil look towards his brother or anything out of the way? No.
No.
Just 2 middle fingers up.
I'm gonna kill you. No, it was very like stately and regal, but again with a hand that wasn't quite right. So everybody's not like a Picasso-esque look, but a very like, I don't want to look at that painting anymore.
And again, the location was inside, outside. Did that come up at all?
No, it didn't. Like maybe sitting in a salon in front of a window.
Got it.
Because you did see shadows being cast in an angle.
Okay.
What?
Well, sorry.
Do you know what is below the manor in the vaults?
No, we do not go down there. It is a prison. I know there is a jail down there. I do not think it is in use. The Baron's, the Boroi family vault. I believe there is perhaps a private shrine, but no one can go down there.
Is there a statue to Stepan's father? Do you know, did they make a likeness of him?
No. Now that you mention it, I feel like there's something to do with his aunt down there.
Stepan's aunt or his father's aunt?
Stepan's aunt, the Baron's sister. She was a priestess of Zonkuthon. Very pious. I do not know all of the details. But yes, she had something to do with that shrine.
Very interesting.
Have we heard of her before?
No.
Nobody's mentioned her name, right?
Mentioned her?
What was her name? Did he say?
No, I do not remember. It was before my time.
Well,
And Suzette. Well, we will leave you to it.
yes. Allow me to say goodbye to Yosef. And the adjunct instructor will crouch down and try to gently pat Yosef.
The dog just like snarls a low growl.
Oh, Yosef. We're here to help you.
Yusuf, calm down, calm down. He does not like strangers, but he seems to smell something familiar about you. Anyhow, come and visit any time, and please let me know what you discover about the Baron. We never had this conversation.
What conversation?
Exact amount.
Good day to you. And I'll get out of there.
To you.
Karzer throws open this rear door before he leaves.
No, I didn't even see that door in there.
yeah,
Where does this
look at that.
door go? He goes to the dogmaster's collar and just drives him to the wall. Put us behind that door!
The dog. Get them meals beef! The dog tears
Mastiff tears out Alfonso's throat.
You throw open the door, and it's the weirdest fucking thing. You look outside, and on the ground is a giant compass.
Whoa!
Weird.
Crop circle.
Weird.
The truth is out there, man.
Fuck. And you never see anything like it.
Wow.
Are the directions accurate?
Yeah.
As far as
Is
you know,
north still north?
everything. You stare at it too long, it starts moving.
Yeah.
Karzer slowly shuts the door and backs away.
It goes away.
All right. So
You open the door again, it's a closet.
to the old shrine then. What else is there to do?
Do you want to keep opening the doors on this floor and then go to the vaults?
Yes.
All right. I open the door that I'm standing in front of.
South of the kennel.
Yeah,
Is there a
just
door
south
there?
of the kennel.
I think the door is just in the hallway, but
Yeah, there's a door there.
yeah, my Roll20 probably hasn't updated. So you open up that room, and let me tell you about this room. Oh, baby.
Oh man, it's getting juicy.
Shit. Looks like an armory.
Oh, I love a good armory.
Long racks, pole arms, swords, shields emblazoned with the Baron's red bear dominate this fairly utilitarian room. You can tell Karazor probably is the most battle-hardened, that all the weapons in here are in need of a good sharpening or oiling. But there are a few choice pieces that look none the worse for time and neglect.
I take them
That's
all.
always good.
Such as?
Can
Just
you do
in
a
case they're magic.
spellcraft? Just in case. We have no way of telling, so I just gather up anything that looks like it might remotely be magic and head south.
There's probably like 3 or 4 weapons that look particularly nice. You just take them.
Yep.
All right, so you grab a great sword, a long sword, and a short bow, and a rapier.
Okay.
Well, are they magical? We just
Yeah.
can't tell.
You don't have detect magic, right?
No.
What if he just spellcrafts it?
Spellcraft.
Can you spellcraft to detect the magical property of something?
I mean, I guess not. But you know what we just need to do is we just need to do one of these stupid D100 rolls and just buy a wand of detect magic, and we can just detect magic.
Oh, yeah. We should do
Just
that.
First
never
time.
even thought of it.
First time in the history of our shows that we didn't have somebody that could cast detect magic. I
Yeah,
feel
crazy.
Yeah.
but as far as I know,
Spellcraft is used specifically to identify the properties of magic items in your possessions through the use of spells as detect magic and identify.
Using
Technically,
detect
a
magic.
spellcraft is an element of using detect magic.
yeah. So you need detect magic to identify the properties. So yeah, you took
Do they-
the choicest weapons.
Do they seem really nice?
They seem
Is
really
there-
nice.
Are they
take-
masterwork? Are they all masterwork?
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll
take the-
take the masterwork rapier.
I'll take
and the short bow.
longsword.
I just read an incredibly potentially dangerous way to try out all these things to see what their magic properties are, and that's to have Joe use them and roll use magic device as he uses them. And the magical properties would reveal if you rolled high enough.
Just slash at the crystal ghost and see what happens.
Just children.
Here.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to take a rapier and a short bow that appear to be masterwork, and then sometime today I'll try to get a wand of detect magic. All right, we'll go to the door to the south.
All right, first door out of 2 to the south. You pop it open, and there's noise on the other side. It's like a bustling kitchen.
Oh.
And they're running around, and they just kind of look at you. And she says, there's a guest of the Baron. Pardon, please keep the door open. One of the servers runs out. You think it's like probably the cook and the sous chefs. They're buzzing about. They look really, really busy. Can I help you? We are incredibly busy right now preparing breakfast for the Baron and the Baroness. And Laurent Thier is going to need coffee when he wakes up. Please, just keep. And she's like just trying to keep the door, keep clear of this door. The girl comes back, and she's working on something else, and they're just really busy bustling about. Can I help you?
Sorry to bother you. We are guests of the Baron, and we did not know what this was the kitchen.
We don't care about you.
Do you happen to have any bread?
Or detect magic.
Yes. Bread
I just happen to have this French loaf of detect magic right here. But it is for me.
But it is for me.
Say a loaf of detect magic. No, we do not. I have bread. Yes. Please get them. Annalise, give the woman bread. And she comes over and hands you some sourdough.
A baguette?
Yes. Yeah. Anything else? I'm sorry, I do not mean to be rude. You are, what am I doing? You are guests of the Baron. I'm sure they would want you to be treated with the utmost respect. Is there anything we can get you? We were told that you did not stay here last night. That's why we did not have breakfast ready for you in your room. But if you would like, we can bring it up now or later. Lunch.
Yes, now would be good. Thank you so much.
Excellent. We wish Annalise. But okay. And she talks to the woman and the guy, and the guy's
And
like,
just leave it there, and we will get to it. Thank you so much.
all right.
Peace.
I just came up with names for these characters. If you would like to know,
Yes. What are all of your names?
I am Chef Sherry Chardonnay. This is Annalise Featherbelly. And we call him Don the Hammer Spice Rack.
Right.
Don the Hammer Spice Rack. Hi, I'm Don.
Don,
I'm not
it is a
from
pleasure.
around here. I just I love cooking, and I gotta practice. So if you need something, just ask for the hammer.
Where you from, Hammer?
Cheliax.
You know Steve.
You know Steve.
Yeah, Cheliax Steve. Shelly Steve.
Kelly Steve.
Yeah,
him? Do you think he's a bad guy?
Steve's a great guy.
That's what I said.
He's saying that.
You see Steve, you tell him the hammer says hi. He'll know. He'll know. Don. I bet you'll be like that. He'll go, Don. That's what he says when people mention me. Love Steve. Anyways, we're going to hook up your breakfast. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Hammer.
Don't hurt him.
It's hammer time. Steve will get it. Steve will get that. All right, have fun exploring the rest of the rooms.
Karazar opens the door to the immediate west of the kitchen door.
All right, so you open the door to the immediate west, and you see a small, less than 10-foot wide hallway with 6 small doors. You think that these are maybe servants' quarters?
Oh.
You're just like knowing I can show you like the outside of the house from there. You would have been able to case the joint. Oh, I did the wrong. I'd hid instead of revealed. You can see like whatever these rooms are, they look to be identical in size. And if it's connected to the kitchen, most likely servants' quarters.
All right. Well, we'll rob them later. Right for now, let's check out the basement. Go down.
Let's
the
go
vault.
downstairs.
Yes. Excellent.
All right, you're going to head downstairs. You walk down the stairs, and you come to a door that is closed at the bottom of the stairs.
I will open it.
It is locked.
All right. I will do a.
I can try to
First-
pick it.
Well, first I'm going to do a perception to see if there's any traps on the lock itself. That is a 30
Perception.
for
That'd
traps.
be a nice disabled device instead of perception.
Disabled device.
It does not appear to be trapped. You feel like if it's trapped,
Okay.
it's really well trapped. Because you
All right.
see it.
Go out there, Professor.
The adjunct constructor pulls out a nice pack of lockpicks and goes to work on the door.
Okay.
Sometimes I get locked out of my office at the university.
I roll my eyes.
17 for a 22.
Ooh.
22. Fiddling with it. It's a good lock. But, like, hold on. Think.
Yes.
Opens the door. To direct your attention to the lower right-hand side of where the kitchen is. Do you see the map that is being
Yep.
revealed there? Let me get my Polygon John on.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Oh my God.
Oh,
so
no.
scary.
Oh, an altar, a statue.
Please place yourselves on the map. You see a door leading to the north. a door leading to the west, and some other interesting bits and bobs.
You mean to the east, right? Not
Sorry, to the east. It's a dark chamber, and the walls are lined with hooks, knives, all sorts of instruments of pain.
Oh, boy.
You see at the western end of the room a steel altar encrusted with what has to be dried blood
Oh, God.
and covered in dark graven runes. And behind the altar stands an Iron Maiden.
Oh no!
And on the cover of the Iron Maiden is a woman in like a bridal dress, but her face is covered by a veil.
Stop it.
Oh, no.
This is so metal.
It is.
This is badass.
Can we inspect the Iron Maiden?
All right,
You guys-
after you, Professor.
Are you guys on that map? I don't see anybody in there.
I think your roll 20 might need refreshing
It's possible.
because earlier she wasn't stuck in a wall. By
Right.
I'm going to draw my weapon.
Yeah, I will as
me
well.
too.
I feel uncomfortable.
My brand new weapon I'll draw.
Bro, your brand new one. Okay. So you come down the stairs, door to the north, door to the east, blood-stained altar, and Iron Maiden west. You start walking towards the altar. You get about, right now I have you here all on top of the altar. Let's keep you about 10 feet away when all of a sudden there's a cold chill that comes throughout the room. And you don't see any openings whatsoever where wind could find its way in. And you just hear in the back of your head a woman's voice. And you all see the Iron Maiden start to open.
Get the fuck out of here.
And we'll see you next week!
Oh, this is gonna be awesome! Oh, but it's so scary.
Oh, no.
Iron Maiden! Iron Maiden!
Oh, that's too much.
Oh, my God.
I'm psyched for next week!
Oh my god.
Yes!
That is amazing.
Oh, God, this was so much fun. Be sure to join us in the after party, Patreon only. We'll see you on the Discord in about 5. See you there. Thanks, everybody.